Lowell George was 34 years old, lying in a hotel room in Arlington, Virginia, after what witnesses described as one of the finest solo performances of his life. The reviews were glowing. The audience had been on its feet. For the first time in years, it genuinely seemed like his moment had finally arrived. He never woke up. The musicians who knew him called him one of the greatest slide guitarists who ever lived. Bonnie Raitt studied under him and credited him as a mentor. Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin named his band his favorite American act. Jackson Browne would later call him the Orson Welles of rock. And yet mention his name today, and most casual listeners will draw a blank. Because Lowell George was exactly that kind of artist. The one every serious musician talked about, and the public somehow never found. He grew up in the Hollywood Hills, the son of a furrier who supplied costumes to the movie studios. Music found him almost immediately. By age 6, he was performing on national television. By his teens, he was absorbing West Coast jazz and soul, playing flute in the school orchestra, and teaching himself guitar with a depth of focus that set him apart from his peers. He wasn't chasing hits. He was chasing something harder to name. In 1968, he landed a spot in Frank Zappa's Mothers of Invention, one of the most demanding creative environments in rock music. What happened next depends on who you ask. According to one widely repeated account, Zappa heard a song Lowell had written, a quiet, aching ballad called Willin', sung from the perspective of a road-weary trucker grinding through the American West, and told him the song was too good to stay buried inside someone else's band. Another version suggests Zappa took issue with the song's candid references to drug use. The story has been disputed, and the truth likely sits somewhere between the two. Either way, Lowell walked out with that song in his pocket and built something extraordinary around it. Little Feat came together in Los Angeles in 1969, and what they created was unlike anything else on the radio. Rock, blues, funk, country, and New Orleans rhythm, all woven together into something loose, joyful, and completely their own. At the center of it was Lowell's slide guitar, played not with a conventional bottleneck but with a 13-16-inch spark plug socket from a Craftsman tool set. Run through a compressor, the tone it produced was so smooth, so vocal, so genuinely human-sounding, that guitarists spent years trying to reverse engineer it. Most gave up. The band earned the devotion of virtually everyone inside the music industry. But commercial success stayed just out of reach. Radio programmers didn't know which shelf to put them on. Albums that critics praised as masterworks sold modestly at best. The live record, Waiting for Columbus, released in 1978, is still ranked among the greatest concert albums ever recorded, and it captured a band that the wider public had largely never discovered. By 1979, the weight of it had accumulated. His health was declining. Creative tensions within the band had been building for years. He stepped away from Little Feat to record a solo album and hit the road alone. By every account, those final shows carried real sparks of the old brilliance. And then, on the night of June 29th, his heart gave out. Some artists get the fame they deserve. Lowell George got something rarer, the permanent, unqualified respect of the people who knew best. That turns out to matter more than the charts ever did. If this story resonated with you, hit like and subscribe. We dig into exactly these kinds of lives every week. The real stories behind the music that time almost forgot.